back to our channel and happy new year to all the folks out there. And I know it's been late and there's a lot of video that has been pending and I've been not uploading for a month, but now I'm being consistent. This is my new resolution. I'm going to be consistent on YouTube and see how it goes. So let me know what's your resolution for this year. Let me know on the comment section. So today we are going to see how to do responsive UI design in Penpot. Basically, what I want to show here, using Flex Layout, how to make things responsive and make it more scalable. If you're building in a mobile app and then you want to go to the tablet, or if you're making a website, trying to shrink it down into the mobile version, then you need to know that how to do it in Penpot, because in Figma we already know. But if you are new in this design industry, this tutorial is also for you. I'm going to discuss everything about what's Flex Layout and how it works. So let's get to the real deal today. So first, what we need to learn that what is Flex Layout. If you're coming back from Figma or XD, this is a very common and very usable feature, that is auto layout. Auto layouting is basically making your UI more dynamic, and you can create multiple things in a very layout and proper system with scalable components. So how do we use it? So Flex Layout is basically helping you to get to know how to make things more responsive, how to make things more consistent with the padding if you are converting it to the HTML CSS. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to draw some circles and try to tell you how Flex Layout works. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to my screen and trying to show you how Flex Layout works in Penpot, and this will help you in building responsive UIs. So first we'll take the circle, for example this, and we'll call it purple or something different color, and we're going to multiply it multiple times. So what are these circles going to do? I'm going to change the colors so we are going to see the difference between them. Okay, so now there are different colors. Okay. A few things that we need to know. There are still a few shortcuts that you must know while using this UI. Okay, why is it working? Okay, so right now what I'm going to show is I'm going to select all of these elements and I'm going to click this plus icon which is saying add layout. This is Flex Layout. So what it's going to do is I'm going to add layout, and it's going to ask me Flex Layout or grid layout. First we are understanding what is Flex Layout, so we are going to click on that. Okay, so what's Flex Layout is, now you can see they are in a system, they're in a container which is spaced, laid out with the space of 28 pixels. If I want to increase that, I can increase by scrolling up, and every element will be spaced out evenly. Where does this help? Is going to help you in making layout with repeatable elements. Like in websites there are cards, carousels. Like in product there are going to be buttons, accordion, or whatever you want, cards, or scorecards, something. So it's the repeatable elements to make the UI more consistent with consistent spacing. What's interesting about these other elements, if we are going to say this circle is larger than others, now you're saying everything is laying out with the 28 pixel or 49 pixel gap. Now what we can do is we can arrange it and align it accordingly. And there's this another option that is justify content from the start, justify content from the center, and justify content by the end. And there's also this option justify content space between. What does this mean? This means is if we have the fixed width, right now we don't have the fixed width. So what we'll do is, we're going to increase this Okay, now what we have this extra space, we have not assigned any max width or any auto layouting system right now for the width. It's not hugging right now, but it's easier to say it's not on the hug. In Figma folks can understand this, but right now is what I'm going to do is we can align this to center and align it to the end. All right, now we can center align it horizontally and vertically. Now there is this spacing system that we can see that it will fill the content, just like it say justify content space between, which means whenever we are going to increase the size of our container, is going to be laid out evenly according to the container, and that's very helpful when you're making websites and products. Similarly, this is justify content space around, which means we are going to increase the length, but now you see it's not filling the gap, just it's keeping the padding what we set. If we have set something else, it's going to be set accordingly. Okay, so that's how it works. And similarly, it's going to be spaced evenly, which means it's going to be centered and work accordingly. So I love this feature, which is evenly spaced out, which is spread out all corner to corner. I use it a lot. All right, so now what we need to learn from this is we have different circles, different things. Now what we need to understand, if we remove this gap, okay, and we are not doing this, we're just center aligning this, and now we don't have any gap. So what we're going to do here is now we are seeing the wrap functionality of Flex layout. So by wrap, we mean is going to drop the elements to the next row and however you want it when the width is constrained. By by that I mean is if we have 5 circles over here and we are going to see that, and we want to break these elements because we want to fit into some crump space, what do we call it, a less space. So see how it works, cramp up a space. Now it's adjusting according to the width of the elements and of the containers. Now what we can do here is very interesting things. Now we go back to the real board. Now what we can do is we can center align it, we can right align it, we can justify content, we can justify content center. We can do a lot of things, and especially if you want to align content to the center, and it will understand this. Look at this. So this will help you out in balancing things, and you should play with it, and then you can get how it's working for you, because it's a very playful thing, because you can explore and you can find a lot of things about it. And when you explore the tool and when you know what it does, you will understand, okay, how it's working. It's just like driving the car. You can understand by watching a YouTube video, but if you are going to drive it, that's going to be a whole different experience. Similarly, we are going to see over here, I'm going to tell you how it works, but the one who needs to experiment and explore is you. So we understand now what Flex layout is basically helping you out in making layout in a more constrained way and more well laid out design. Now how we're going to use it in practical example and how to make a responsive UI, that's what you are here for. So now what we're going to do is let's learn about how to make a responsive UI. I have this podcast app that I found on Penpot's library. Somebody made it, so kudos to them, because I don't have to do an effort again. I just want to explain how it works. So this is a mobile app, right? And right now if I extend this is not the one that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one, this is where I have not applied responsive. Okay, so if I drag it, see what's happening here. This bar is not aligning. This is not aligning the way we want. This text is going out of the way. this circle is surely not doing what we want, and everything is stretching out and does not look like we are going to put it in front of anyone. So what we need to do here is to understand how flex layout works. That's the way I told you. So what we need to do here, we are going to select this bar, and we don't want it to be in the center. We want to be justified according to the screen size. So what we're going to do here is we are going to the width 100%. So what will happen if we drag so see, it's being the 100% of the width of the screen, and the padding it already has, so it's applying on this element. Now what we need to do is we need to center this so we can create a better layout design for other screens. Now what we need to do here is we have fixed width, but we did not have align self-center, so we are going to do that. And what we see, let me see how it works now. If it's working, yes, it's working. It's being on the center. Now what we need to do here, the biggest problem in this screen is this circle, and this is not stretching the way it should be. So what we're going to do here, we're going to select this group and select it to width is maximum 100%. And this circle is not what we want here. So what we are going to do here is add the layout and flex layout on this one, because we're not add it on the element. So what we're going to do here is we are going to make this whole group of layout and flex layout. So if this is stretching, which means it's not a layout problem, it's a constraint problem. So what you need to do is what you want to do with it, because if it's this in this group or container, so it's always if you're going to stretch it, the circle is going to stretch. But what you want is to stay the circle on the same space so it does not stretch out. So what we're going to do is we are going to apply constraints, which is center from vertically and center from and we want to stay on the right side or the left side. If we want to stay on the left side, so we are going to click here, or you can select by the drop down. So now what we have here is a very interesting thing. Now you have give it a constraint which will help it to stay in the left center of the screen. Similarly, what we're going to do here is select this path, which is the completed played one bar. Is we're going to select its center and stay on the left. Now let's see if it's applied or not. Let's stretch it out and let's see. It's working. See, so how it works is just basically staying on the left where I placed it officially and it's going to stay there because we have applied the constraint on that particular element. Now, so what we see here is a perfectly responsive layout, and we can select any screen preset from here and it's going to be responsive according to that screen. If we are going to select iPad, let's search for iPad. There is okay, so iPad mini. Now you see it's working perfectly. Now there is a thing that I want to add here personally, is I don't want to get it maximum width. I just want this player to be on the same width, so I'm going to fix width of this and I want it to be on the center of the screen. So if we click on this align self-center, so which will help us into keeping it on the same place in the same state in different screens. So let's select iPad mini. So see, similarly what I want here is I want to be fixed, so I want this element to be center aligned and fixed. So now we can show the developers and other people, when you create your elements, your screens, your website based on the flex layout, it's very easy for you to create it as a responsive design for yourself, and it saves up a lot of time. It takes a little bit of a time to learn, but when you learn this, so it will be very easy for you when you are going to show client multiple screens, multiple devices. You don't have to recreate every design and set the alignment and constraints every time. You just have to fix in a one screen, and it's going to be available for all of the devices and responsive. So now as you can see here, we can select any device and it's going to be the way we want it. So that's it for my side, and if you want to learn more about Penpot layout, and if you do not understand it, I can show you another thing. Okay, so what I want to show you here, if you this is the board, and for example this is a website, right? And this website needs to be responsive. So what I did is just I applied a very basic flex layout over here, and I can say that height is according to the element. So what it's going to do is, if you are going to add the element, it's going to add up on that. And also if we are selecting it to for the wrap, and we are going to constrain it, see how it works if we increase the padding from here. So let's say 20. So we can see here. Similarly, the websites work similarly. We have different components, different cards, different elements placed on the screen. So that's how we work on the website, and we're going to divide it accordingly. So that's how flex layout work. You can make responsive anything with this knowledge. Okay, if you didn't understand what I try to explain here, is you can find Flex Layout Playground version 2.0. It is given from the Penpot, and you can understand how it works. And you can even create this frogs -40 and make it size. So one thing I forgot to tell you, and this is from the Flex Layout Playground version 2.0 by Penpot, and I'm using their example. So it's a very interesting example to show you, because that's something that you are going to use in websites and other things. Okay, so what happened here is we are using -40 gap, so we are overlapping these elements. You can change these elements position by using the Z index. If you are a developer, you already know what is Z or Z index is basically, if I select this element and I set the bar or I set the number too high for it. Like for example, there are 4 frogs and I want these frogs to be on the top, so I will add 4. So what will happen is it's going to be most on the front. So it's a priority, or it's the numeric priority. So if I want this to be on the second priority, so I'll add this third. So now it's on the front, and this is going to be 0. Every element is on the 0. So if I set this is 2 and this is 1, so what will happen here is, even if I move the element over here, you see the purple one is staying behind the pink one, which is priority 2. And if I move this frog in front of blue one, so what will happen is going to be stay behind that, because that's not what we have set the priority. So Z index is the priority setter of the elements, how you want to show when it's overlapping to each other and which one is the most priority. The higher the number, the more priority is going to get. For example, if we have here 4 frogs, so we are setting the highest number 4, so 4 is going to be on the front. So if you set the Z to be 0, is going to be on the back of the last element. So hope you get this point, because I forgot the Z index to explain how it works. It's going to be help you in making things more like when you want to show on hover and show Z index on hover on the click. Sometimes you need it in websites. And this website is going to be very helpful for you in creating at least basic layouting, and I hope you learn what you are here for. Okay, so what I want to tell you is I am going to launch a lot of videos related to Penpot tutorials that will tell you each and every element of Penpot, when to use it and when not to use it. And to be honest, for me, for websites and simple applications and screens, Penpot is my go-to. And if I want any complicated organizational and or maybe a very high complex application, I would use Figma. But for free, we are getting this, and this performance is pretty good. And I'm going to tell in the future videos how to use Penpot with AI to create, SaaS applications, or maybe you want to create an MVP and you want to ideate something with the help of AI. I'm going to make very soon a great video on that. Stay tuned for that. I'm going to be very active on YouTube and on Instagram. So subscribe on YouTube, follow on Instagram, and follow me on LinkedIn as well, because I'm being very active on LinkedIn. So if you have any question, comment down below. And if you want to request any new tutorial, let me know in the comment section as well. Take care of yourself. Meet me on the next one.